All right, YouTube and next post. I'm about to replace the motor mounts in my E53. Got some replacement mounts from FCP. I got the old trusty Harbor Freight engine support bar hooked up, and that's all I've done so far. So first, I guess I'm gonna take the bolts off of both motor mounts off the top. I already got this secured. I'll tighten it up a little bit more. I'm gonna lift her up and let's see what it looks like from the bottom. I don't know if you can see down there. 16 millimeter, and I got the extensions just coming up right up through here. About to take it off. Same on the driver's side. Time to lift her up. All right, she's up in the air. Got the jack stands under. Trusty Harbor Freight jack stands. And this thing is oily. Got oil everywhere. I don't think I want to do the oil pan gasket. I already did the valve cover gasket. All right, so I'm just looking. The driver's side mount looks pretty easy to get to right there. Should be able to get that pretty easy. Not sure about this passenger mount. That's gonna be tough. Guess you can see it kind of up there. Yeah. All right, so passenger side's out. Wasn't the easiest thing. So what I did, I just took the 6 bolts. It was an what is that? E18. And I just took those front axle carrier bolts, subframe bolts, out from this side, and you can just kind of, you know, pull it down, and it's like Tetris getting it out, but it'll come. I didn't take the motor mount bracket off the engine. It's still there. So it'll come out, and that's the old one. And I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and take the other side out and then put both of them in. All right. Okay, well, we got the driver's side out. It ain't easy, that's for sure. I wouldn't say it's easy, but what I would do, so I would get the circle part in, this part here in first, and then get the stud in, and just use so I got bolts in this one. I actually put the other mount on this side. It's already in. You can see right there. And I went ahead and just hand tightened the bolts and the nut on top, so that when I use my transmission jack to just lift the motor up a little bit, just so I could clear that, and then you can pry down on the axle carrier on the subframe right there and get one in. So, all right, I'll be back. All right, so I'm done. And there's the motor mounts. Oh, where they at? Right here. That's the old ones. Tips. So what I would do first, I would put my nice Harbor Freight engine support, hook that up, take all 6 bolts out from the top on your motor mounts, the 2 what are they? E12. So you got 2 E12 bolts. I don't think you need to replace them. They're steel. Just take those out on each side. Take the 16 millimeter nut off, and then get the engine as high as you can with the engine support bar. Lift it up. I have a lift and a transmission jack, but you don't need it. You can do it without that. It just makes it easier instead of laying on the gravel. And then what I would do, I would take don't just take the six bolts in the front subframe. Go ahead and loosen all of them, And I would just take, let's start with the passenger side, take those 3 out. You have the driver's side loose, pry the axle carrier down, and then you can finagle the mount out. You don't have to take the bracket off from the engine. And then finagle the new one in. I'd go ahead and put the bolts in hand tight. I used my engine, my big jack stand here. Where's it at? Right here, this big jack stand. I use that to lift the, to push the axle frame, the axle carrier up. I did use my transmission jack, this yellow transmission jack. I used it to push the engine up because you pretty much need all the clearance you can get if you're not taking the brackets off, unless you're just some magician. But I lifted it up as high as I thought it was comfortable, and I took the one side of the bolts out on the axle carrier. I pried it down with the pry bar, and you can finagle it out and then finagle the new one in. I just got really dirty because this thing leaks oil like crazy. I think every BMW I've owned leaks oil, has a leaking oil pan gasket. It's not too bad of a job. I wouldn't want to do it again, but I've definitely done worse jobs. All in all, I don't know how long it took me. Maybe 2 hours, I don't know, something like that. You could probably do it in 45 minutes really, or an hour if you're good, but not too bad. There's a number of ways you can do it. That's the way I did it. It works, just have to be patient, and just be prepared to push the engine up from the bottom, have the support bar on, and be able to pry the axle carrier down. If you don't take the axle carrier bolts down, then I think you have to take the brackets off from the engine. I don't see how else it's gonna come out. Even pushing the engine up and dropping the axle carrier down, maybe 1.5 inches or so, it still wasn't the easiest thing. But yeah, that's it. Now, moment of truth, I guess. Let me find my keys and we'll see. So the symptom, here's my keys. The symptoms are just like really, really bad vibration. All right, let me find my keys. So I found my keys. Now it's a moment of truth. So the symptoms were just a really bad vibration in the steering wheel, especially at a stop. Like if I'm at a red light or something like that in drive, I could put it in neutral and it would get much better. So I can already tell. Big difference. Yeah, huge difference. No vibration in the steering wheel at all. Amazing. Yeah, don't skimp on that job. Definitely it's worth it. That's night and day. A night and day difference for sure. That's amazing. Oh man, world's better. World's better. Yeah, the headliner sucks. Sunroof sucks. I only paid $2,000 for this car, but I like it. That's what I haul. It's like my family car. I haven't put too much money into it, but it drives nice. Everything pretty much works. Oh yeah, this is way better. So definitely, if you have vibrations when you come to a stop and drive, the steering wheel is like, it's perfect. You can't tell a difference going from drive to neutral. So it worked. Not a fun job, but not a bad job.